Investigating after racist graffiti was found outside of Pines apartment complex.
Service despite spray-painted racial vandalism. It is the second racial vandalism.
Messages of hate sprayed across a Dayton neighborhood.
It's August 8, 1925. More than 50,000 members of the Ku Klux Klan are marching outside of Washington, D.C. Some walking in straight lines, others walking in the formation of a letter K or a cross. All wearing white pointy hats with their faces half visible. A white robe with a red patch containing a cross with a drop of blood. The Ku Klux Klan, or the KKK, became most popular in 1920. They became very visible in public activities, festivals, pageants, and social gatherings. The KKK communicated their hate by committing crimes of assault, robbery, vandalism, and mainly violence. The KKK's main goal was to restore true Americans and offer members a platform and demonetize blacks. A group of former Confederate veterans founded the first branch of the Ku Klux Klan as a social club in Tennessee in 1865. The KKK started off hoping to reverse the policies of radical Reconstruction and restore white supremacy. They were joined in the struggle by a similar organization called Knights of the White Camellia. At least 10% of black legislators elected during 1867 and 1868 were victims of violence during Reconstruction. Black institutions, such as schools and churches, were KKK targets. Then, in 1866, a man called Ulysses S. Grant crushed KKK activity and alarmed many Republicans, and the KKK gradually reasserted its hold on the South as support for Reconstruction. By the end of 1876, Democrats were under control again.
In 1869, Congress approved the 15th Amendment, and President Grant signed it into law. The 15th Amendment forced Southern states to allow African Americans their vote.
In 1915, white protesters organized a revival for the Ku Klux Klan. They gave out and plastered signs all over towns and cities. The organization held rallies, parades, and marches around the world. In its peak in 1917, the Ku Klux Klan exceeded 4 million people worldwide. The Great Depression in 1930 depleted KKK membership, and they temporarily disbanded in 1944. In 1960, civil rights movement saw a surge in bombings and shootings. In 1923, outside Seattle, as many as 1,900 new members of the secret society devoted to white supremacy and Christian patriotism held a super rally where they saluted William J. Simon, the man who founded the Ku Klux Klan revival in 1915. This is where they introduced their new scary and terrifying symbol, the burning cross. The rally began with the modern fireworks of bombs that fire in 3 large Ks into the sky. Then Klansmen paraded in military formation at night with red, white, and blue torches. Speeches were given by the electrified outdoors public address system. One Klansman speaker claimed at July 4th rally, a process to the phenomenal at the age, it is the best, biggest, and strongest movement in American life.
The silk robes, the secret signs, the meetings of the Brotherhood served the same purpose as the dull but respectable fraternities to which his richer neighbor belongs. Not every member is a killer, but most are of low intelligence and badly educated. They're deluded by the Klan into thinking they can stop the Negro movement, whose progress terrifies them.
Can mean anything from the overthrow of the American government to the destruction of the white race, and I'm here.
The main speaker was Robert Shelton, Imperial Wizard of the United Klans of America. His attack on communists and Negroes was one of the more moderate Klan speeches I heard.
In America,
Political controversy also brought out some skeptical observators. Washington State passed an anti-KKK law in 1923 that prohibited the wearing of masks at rallies. Klan organizers sometimes would wear masks to rallies to strike up interest and to see if the police would actually confront the Klan. When the second wave of Ku Klux Klan began, there were more emerged to fight immigration, minorities, and political corruption. Political activism was the KKK's main goal, and making sure the candidate they wanted to win was appointed. And they absolutely did not like the idea of African Americans voting or running for any sort of campaign. And Illinois was the perfect example of this. Illinois' Governor Len Small was elected with the help of the Klan. A newspaper reporter after the Klan got Len Small elected said, "The KKK controlled elections and can get whatever they wanted with the help of the Prairie State." Other state leaders reported that 10 state governors and 13 senators were elected with Klan's help, and Senator Hugo Black was destined to become a Supreme Court justice, was a Klansman.
An effort is being made to convince the people of America that I am intolerant and that I am prejudiced against people of the Jewish and Catholic faiths and against members of the Negro race.
The situation wasn't better in the West. In Denver, Klansmen had the Office of Public Safety, City Attorney, Chief of Police, and several judgeships, and they were behind the election of the mayor. At higher levels, they helped elect state U.S. senators and governors. A historian, Carls Abbott, wrote, "Could well believe they own the state."
When such an order as this moves in and takes over the police power, you are completely at their mercy. And their atrocities and their violence can be visited on anybody that disagrees with them in any given situation.
The Republican Party, heavily been influenced by the Klan, controlled both houses of legislation, said Abbott. The KKK communicated their hate in multiple ways, some of them being murder, robbery, vandalism, and arson. The KKK ran on intimidation, fear, and secrecy, a white supremacist group created after the Civil War to terrorize many people, but mainly blacks. They temporarily disbanded after 3 years, but a pro-KKK film called The Birth of a Nation, where they talked about the KKK by Klan's members' perspective, sparked the reunion for this hateful group. They continued their hate and hateful ideas around the world. The KKK made an impact and influence around the world. There were rallies, marches, and parades in every state in America. The KKK killed, beat, vandalized, and lit on fire everything that was against their views of life. They established their hate for people based on their race, religion, nationality, and lifestyle. The KKK are always on news outlets with their public speeches or what they call lectures, and their rituals and their reunions. They hang posters and signs in every city and town, and they always are looking for new members or leaders. They spread fear and terror to anybody when they have their parades in the middle of the night outside of city streets. The KKK, or the Ku Klux Klan, were America's first terrorist organization. They will be taught in classes and schools throughout the world. The KKK still exists today, and they have new leaders and members. They will still influence people today.